from the Frat House here with Frat House Mike and Sidekick.
Yep.
And we can't waste a single second. We got to get right to the big news from yesterday, Sidekick, and that was the shocking news of the sudden death of Junior Seau in an apparent suicide. I got to be honest, I was just shocked. No. Seau played 20 years in the NFL, 12 of those years with the San Diego Chargers. He was drafted number 5 in the 1990 NFL draft and really never disappointed. He was 12-time Pro Bowler, 1994 AFC Player of the Year. Tremendous, dominating player. And I don't, we were talking a little bit about this pre-show. He's one of those guys that you really never hated. It didn't matter who he played for. You never really looked at him as the opposition. He played for the, obviously the Chargers. He played then later on for the Dolphins. He played for the Patriots. You really never looked at this guy as an opponent. You just appreciated everything he brought. And I kind of, I was saying earlier, I kind of throw him in a group with people like Ray Rice and Brian Dawkins and
Barry Sanders, guys that you respect. Yeah. You're in awe of their play. So
now, some were speculating that his self-demise might have been perpetuated by the fact he was a concussion victim, numerous concussions over a period of time. I was saying to you that I kind of broke that down a little bit. It just kind of struck me then later on. Junior Seau might have just been a guy that, and we've met people like this in our life, that just couldn't transition. This was his passion. 20 years this guy played. And you could see it in every single game, and that's what we as fans appreciated. And it may just have been a situation where he just couldn't live without that in his life.
Right. No, I agree with you there.
Obviously, there's been a lot of chatter. A lot of chatter over social media, a lot of chatter over the internet, and the Frat House Facebook page has not been exempt. And that kind of leads to our Frat House Facebook post of the week, which comes from our buddy Lee again this week, who posted yesterday, after I put up the announcement, you put it up earlier, and then I kind of embellished on it a little bit, and he then put up the article that's been brought up on a couple of different places, the coincidence that the 1994 San Diego Chargers squad now has 8 premature deaths to former players, all under the age of 45, more than any other team. Give us a Frat House Facebook post, all right? Keep it a little lighter than that, maybe, okay?
Yeah.
But we appreciate your post, Lee. That was great stuff. The other big story in the NFL yesterday, of course, was NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell announcing the suspension of Saints players for their participation in the bounty scandal at the team.
I believe you want to call that dropping the boom.
Well, he certainly did. Jonathan Vilma, who has kind of been the poster child, the whipping boy, I guess, of this whole thing, suspended for the entire season. Anthony Hargrove, 8 games. Will Smith, 4 games. Scott Fujita, 3 games. Where do you coming in on this one? Good, bad, indifferent? What do you think?
I saw some of the comments on the Facebook page and stuff, and initially I think it a little extreme for Wilma, but given what they did to Peyton, I don't know. I don't think it's that out of line.
I don't know. I thought it was way too extensive, particularly for Vilma. 1 full season, I don't know. And that's where I'm coming down on it. I thought it was, I don't know. It really just appears to me that Goodell, the Saints, are they going to be a team this year? Really? Honestly? All right. Other NFL news this week. We still have ongoing chatter and talk about the NFL draft. Second, we had Andy Reid tonight again. You had it on your calendar. You had it on your computer.
I know.
Where the hell were you?
Sorry. Was having some Indian food.
All right, folks, here's my interview earlier this evening with Coach Andy Reid. All right, we're really pleased. We've got Coach Andy Reid back on the line with us, and he's here to chit-chat with us a little bit, a little bit of a post-draft conversation. Coach Reid, we really appreciate you. Okay, you kept your word. You're coming back on with us. Thanks very much.
Well, Mike, thanks for having having me back on. I really like your guys' show. You guys are pretty funny.
Well, we appreciate that. Let all your friends know, will you? Listen, Coach, you're getting high marks from both the media and the fans for the picks that you made, particularly in the early rounds of this year's draft. Give us your impression. I mean, how would you rate this year's draft?
Well, Mike, Howard and I, we worked really hard this off season getting ready for the draft, and I think we did a good job. If I had to give a grade to this year's draft, I think I would give it a 4 out of 5 possible buffets.
Okay. All right. Well, okay, that's a good one. Coach, you chose 4 defensive players with your first 5 picks, including the highly touted defensive tackle Fletcher Cox, linebacker Michael Kendricks, who a terrific guy. I just heard an interview with him the other day. Defensive end Vinny Curry. You are getting really high marks for that one. With these picks, can we expect a return to the kind of Johnson era defense of the Eagles?
Well, Mike, let me just start off by saying that, I love Cox. I love Cox about as much as I love a good buffet. And, on Vinny Curry, well, I mean, his last name is Curry, which makes me think of Indian food. So, it makes me hungry. But, Curry was a steal. And, we should have made sure we took all the Curry. As far as, Kendricks goes, Kendricks, he's going to be starting at strong side linebacker right away. He's going to be an impact player from the get-go. Now, as far as this Johnson era defense goes, we can't go back to the Johnson era defense. The guys get it, but this is the Castillo era. This is the era of the wide nines. This is the era of the inferior defense.
Okay. All right. Well, good comments there. We appreciate those. Some, though, are curious about your number 4 pick. You picked a quarterback, and that was Nick Foles from Arizona. Now, the questions are out there. What's the intention here? He was a 3rd-round pick. He was your number 4 pick. What's the intentions here? And what's the status of quarterback Mike Kafka?
Well, we took this kid in the 3rd round. He was impressive. He broke Drew Brees records in high school. He's smart. He's a big guy. Plays basketball. So, we worked him out really hard. And I like the way he throws a football. It's just pretty.
All right.
And, he's smart.
Yeah, well, we like pretty here. We like pretty here in Philadelphia there, Coach Reid. Coach, I got to let you go. I appreciate the fact you came back in with us tonight. Hey, we're going to see you at training camp. Is that right?
Absolutely. Stop by and see me at training camp.
Well, we appreciate it. We'll get you there. All right there, Coach. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thanks, guys.
Good stuff there. We really appreciate Andy Reid being with us. Any thoughts on anything there?
No, I mean, it was a good interview.
All right. Well,
Andy's always a treat.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, I thought I'd give you a chance to chime in a little bit on your important Rams draft. My gosh, you had all kinds of picks going on there. Any thoughts, sir?
Man, we made out like bandits on this draft. I'm telling you what.
Yeah.
I mean, we drafted 2 quarterbacks, so we can work on our run defense. We got a guy that can spell Steven Jackson. So I think we picked up a wide receiver from Appalachian State.
You got Michael Brockers there from LSU, who the Eagles were looking at, and I'm really high on Isaiah Pete from Cincinnati. I think you got yourself a good running back there. All right, we had a race last Saturday night in Richmond, and finally our boy Kyle Busch finally got himself a checkered flag for this year. Excellent driving off of pit road he did to get ahead of Tony Stewart with just a few laps left. In fact, he even admitted there was no way he could have won that race if he hadn't done what he did there. Others who came in the top 5 there. Hey, there's Dale Jr. again this week coming in second. Tony Stewart ended up getting third. Denny Hamlin fourth. Casey Kane in fifth. And if we take a look at the top 5 on the overall Sprint Cup leaderboard, Greg Biffle continues to lead number 1, but now only by a few points, all right? By 5. He's up there at 338. Closely following him, Dale Jr. in there at 333. Just 4 points behind him is Denny Hamlin at 329. Matt Kenseth, 4th, 328. Martin Truex Jr. comes in 5th at 316.
That might change this week, because you know where we're going.
I know where we're going, and I love it. We are going to Talladega Superspeedway for some 4-wide racing. I love that stuff. Coverage on Fox beginning at noon on Sunday. And 4-wide.
And from a fantasy perspective, just to give you some clues this week, you're going to want to watch Burton, Jr., Kyle, Boyer, and Harder. Those are your guys, the fantasy picks to watch this week.
You got it. Frat House Fantasy, folks. Jump right in. Hey, before we move off of motorsports, though, I wanted to just give a shout-out. John Force Racing, NHRA action from this past weekend in Houston. We had 2 female, we've talked about them before, rookie funny car drivers, Courtney Force and Alexis DeJura. They faced off for the first time in round 1, all right, at Houston. DeJura got herself a good jump off the line, but not enough for the Force Mustang. She came in there and won that first round. John Force Racing has absolutely been dominant this year. They haven't lost a single funny car heat they've been in so far this year. Good job. Alrighty, Major League Baseball. Quite a bit of action this week in baseball. And boy, anytime there's increased action, we got increased improbables. So we'll go over to our regular feature. That's the surprises for week 4. Your homerless Pujols. Are you kidding me? 101 at bats. He's not only homerless, how about he's got a batting average of 208. All right? And 208 second worst in your lineup over there at Anaheim. All right? 208, no, all right. We'll get your opinions on that. Who needs Pujols in Anaheim? They've got Jared Weaver. He threw a no-hitter last night against the Minnesota Twins in a 9-0 win. All right? He's only the 10th no-hitter in Angels history.
19 won this season.
That's right. How about 19-year-old fielder Bryce Harper? We're going to give you a little video going out the show tonight. Made his debut this week in Washington, D.C., and he hasn't been anything less than spectacular. 4 games, he's hitting 385s. Pretty darn good in the field as well, you're going to see. $100 million pitcher, Yu Darvish, Texas Rangers. He's been everything promised. 4-0 record. He's got himself a 2.18 ERA, 33 strikeouts, only 17 walks. The Phils, you had them in there. Huh?
I had the Phils in there because they split the series with the Cubs.
Yeah, how do you do that?
You know, the Cubs haven't been relevant since Sammy Sosa, and before him.
And with all due respect,
it is what it is.
Yeah, but with all due respect, while their numbers might look bad, they're really right smack in the middle of the league if you take a look at everything going down. Finally, I just got to mention. I got to mention. And you got, I think maybe you actually have a couple more. Yep. Immortal Network announcer Tim McCarver, who explained the increased number of home runs, saying on the air the other day to his buddy Joe Bach, I think ultimately it will be proven that the air is thinner now. There have been climatic changes over the 50 years in this world, and I think that's one of the reasons the balls are carried farther. Global warming. What do you got?
Okay, well, I got two little diddlies here. Recent updates. Joe Blanton from the Phillies pitched a full game today, the first full game of the Phillies, and not only pitched a full game, but shut them out.
Yep.
Only let up 3 hits today.
Good job,
so
Joe.
that's good for the Phils.
Good job, Joe.
And then also, Chipper Jones and Jason Giambi.
Yeah.
Yesterday, both hit walk-off runs.
It's a good
First time in MLB history that 2 over the age of 40 players have hit walk-offs in the same day.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Lot of close 40 guys. We got Jamie Moore going out there. I mean,
Yeah, I'm going to talk about
we're going to talk about Jamie Moore in a minute.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the MLB leaderboard. Let's go over to the American League. My Orioles faltered a bit this week, and the Rays take over at the top in the East. Cleveland Indians are there in the Central. Texas still stays in the West. And in the National League, nothing has changed. Washington still in the East, Cardinals in the Central, and Dodgers in the West. And we're going to take a look. We finally made our way over to the National League. And we're going to take a look at the NL West, home to the Arizona Diamondbacks, Colorado Rockies, Los Angeles Dodgers, San Diego Padres, and the San Francisco Giants. And I'll kick it off with the D-backs. Yes, that's what I said, D-backs. Arizona. Early word was that their offense would be snake bit. And if you look up and down their lineup, with the exception of people like Jason Cabell and Miguel Montero, that would appear to be pretty much true. If the Diamondbacks have any hope at all, though, it's going to be in their pitching rotation, which may keep them hanging in some games and sniffing around the top of the West. Led by pitcher Joe Saunders, currently has an evaporating 1.24 ERA. Everyone in their top five is contributing, with the exception of right now Josh Colementor, who has an ERA of 9.82. In the end, though, I'm going to tell you right now, look for the Diamondbacks to die in the desert. Take us over to the Rockies. Huh?
Hey, the Rockies. Well, we're going to talk about Jamie Moyer, our over 40 pitcher. He leads the team in ERA with 3.14. Then we've got Matt Reynolds, their closer, who's 3-0.
Yeah.
And then we got to talk about Carlos Gonzalez, who leads the team in just about every hitting category.
Yeah.
He's got a .310 batting average, 7 home runs, 23 RBIs, 26 hits. Last week, he was the first Rocky to knock in 5 runs in a single inning against the Mets. In the 5th inning, they let up 11 runs.
Yep. Los Angeles Dodgers. Wow, what a difference a year makes, huh? This team has been reinvigorated, recreated. I mean, use all the re-words you want. Center fielder Matt Kemp right now is just playing insane. This guy is hitting .411, slugging .856. He's got 12 home runs, 25 RBI, 17 walks. Right fielder Andre Ethier, he appears to be reinvented as well. .287 batting average with 6 home runs himself. You got yourself a well-rounded 4 out of 5 pitchers right now currently have an ERA below 2.7. This team certainly looks like it's for real. And I frankly think they're going to be around at the end. Let's zip down the coast to Southern California, and how about San Diego?
Hey, the Padres. Hey, Padre. Well, we got to talk about Anthony Bass. Bass.
Yeah, Bass.
Leads teams in ERA at 2.3. He's 1-3 though. Win-loss record.
Yeah.
But he took over for Mosley when he went out. They just announced yesterday that Lupke is now out. That's three starting pitchers they've had go out on the DL since the beginning of the season. But pitching's what's keeping, as we talked about earlier, pitching's what's keeping them in because their hitting is just horrible. Their leading hitter is Chase Headley.
Yep.
And he leads in just about all the categories, but he's got a .258 batting average. And that's the best on the team.
That's the best on the team.
4 home runs, 14 RBIs, and 23 hits. They need to find some offense.
Let's go over to the San Francisco Giants, and frankly, I think this is the team to beat. That's where I'm coming from. I'm going to put it right out there. In my opinion, they present the greatest potential dominance to the Dodgers. Melky Cabrera, Buster Posey, great starts, but none better right now than Panda. Pablo Sandoval hitting .316 with 5 home runs and 15 RBIs. 3 out of 5 of the team's starting pitchers have gotten off to great starts, but none of them are named Lincecum. Right now, he's got a 5.74 ERA. One of them, though, is named Barry Zito, and he's got a 1.76 ERA. Brian Wilson is out for the entire season, so we'll have to see how that goes with their closing. This team will be right there contending at the end, and frankly, I'm picking them to win the West. Where do you have it?
I'm going to go with Dodgers.
Okay. Hey, we got the NHL playoffs going on. I got it over here right now. We got the NHL playoffs going on, and we're going to go, we're going to go take a look at the NBA first.
Yep.
Pardon me, I will get to the NHL in a moment. NBA.
Well, you're excited about the NHL.
I am turning this over to you. You're going to do the NBA update for us.
Throwing off
Go
the
for
mojo.
it. Go for it.
All right, in the West.
West.
Are we doing the West first?
Yes, we're doing the West
first. All right, we've got the Spurs versus the Jazz. The Spurs are up 2-0 in this series.
Yep.
We've got then the Oklahoma Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks, with the Thunder up 2-0. We got the LA Lakers and the Denver Nuggets, with the Lakers up 2-0. You know, the straight across, you know.
Yeah, it's falling
higher ranking guys.
It's falling chalk.
And then we come down to the number 4, number 5 Grizzlies and the Clippers, who have split it 1-1.
Right.
Now we'll look at the
East.
Yep, we've got the East. We've got the Bulls against the Sixers. They're split 1-1. Derrick Rose,
that's the big story
out for the playoffs. Then we've got the Heat versus the Knicks, with the news there being Stoudemire with his lacerated hand, had surgery on that. Then we go down to the Pacers and the Magic, with the Pacers leading that 2-1.
Yep.
And then we've got the Celtics and the Hawks 1-1. Big news there. Celtics losing one of the games at home.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we'll bring you back up to date on that next week as well. Now we'll go over to the NHL, and I've got the Flyers over here going, and it's a tie game right now in the second period with 8 minutes left. Yep. However, let's take a look at the West real quick. Right now, you got your Kings and your Blues.
Yep.
Kings are an 8 seed, Blues are a 2 seed, and you are down 2-0. You got a game tonight late.
Yep.
Ain't looking good.
Hey, we were talking about this pre-show. I'm kind of switching my wheels up. I think the Kings are going to be the West representation.
And I'm hanging
on. 5-0 on the road so far in the playoffs.
I know they are.
They've
and
knocked off the number 1.
And tremendous goaltending. They're
going to knock off the number 2. They're going to knock off my Blues, as much as I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to take whoever comes out, Coyotes, Predators.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to stick by the Predators. They are down right now against the Coyotes, 2-1. But watch the Predators. I think they'll beat those Kings if they get there. I hope they don't. Over in the eastern side, we've got the Capitals, number 7 seed, against the New York Rangers, who are the number 1 seed. We didn't get a chance to give our picks on this one. And so, where you got it going?
I'm going with the Rangers.
I'm going with the Rangers as well. And, of course, we've got the Devils, as I pointed out. The Devils are the number 6 pick against the Flyers. The Flyers are, in my opinion, the better team.
I'm going with the Flyers.
Flyers as well. We'll see how it goes. Right now, the Rangers are up 2-1 in that series, and the Flyers are tied in that series 1-1.
Tied in the game and tied in the series 1-1.
Exactly. And so we're in Game 3 right now tonight. Oh, man. Could we have thrown anything more into this show? There it is for tonight, all right? Hey, make sure you tune into us next week. Keep it real, keep it live, keep us going.
Nationals Park's front door. First pitch, hit by Uribe to deep center. Bryce Harper along the wall with the grab. And he throws into first base as the base runner had gone to second. That ball was slicing away from him.
Is he okay?
He banged into the wall out there. He's
what
smiling.
A play. Are you kidding me? I mean, what else can you do defensively your first 2 major league games? The throw last night, and he's waving off the Coons right now. And how about that catch, folks? I thought that ball was in the seats. And you see Juan Uribe, he thought he got it. But watch this play. I talked about it last night. This kid's fearless. Right into the wall. He doesn't care if there's a warning track right there, and he's coming up thinking double play. Not a lot of games in the outfield. Don't forget, this guy was a catcher. Look at that play. Come on.